Looks like we're good. I'm gonna try without headphones again tonight. We'll see how we go. Alright. Trying to find a loud spot in these songs. Here we go. So I can do my sound test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Looks like we're good. I'm gonna try without headphones again tonight. We'll see how we go. Alright. Trying to find a loud spot in these songs. Here we go. So I can do my sound test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yep. All good. All right. Welcome back to another late night coding stream. Working on the procedural RPG again. Still no comeback of the TypeScript engine yet. I probably will get back to it. But having a lot of fun with this project, so we're gonna keep chugging on with this for now. Right. So again, pretty much haven't done anything since last time, except I did muck around a little bit with this widget manager. I converted it to a stack based system rather than just a single widget, so that it's like widgets can kind of go on top of each other and then sort of get removed in that same order. And actually, now that I think about it, I should add a function for that. Quickly do that. So we pretty much just want to go, I guess, a while loop. While there is a top level widget, close full screen widget. Yeah, that should be fine. This is a while loop, so it could, you know, hang everything. But it should be fine. As long as this doesn't have a problem, we should be good with that. So what I want to quickly do before we get too far into this is convert these chest select amount widgets over to use that new system. So if you remember from last time, we basically did so you can move stuff between chests or inventories, and if there's over a certain amount of items, it'll basically like ask you how many you want to move. So yeah, this is the widget that just gets stuffed onto the screen right now, but not it doesn't do it in kind of like a systemized way. So that if something came over the top of it, it wouldn't know about it, basically. So I will quickly try to fix that. And oh, did I do something else? Oh, I installed the engine symbols. I was missing them. I thought I had them for this Unreal build, but I didn't. So if we look at like the sprite blueprint library, you can see I actually now have the CPP files in Engine, so that is helpful. You can just do that through the launcher if you have the same problem as me. In fact, here, let me show you real quick, just in case. Yeah, so you just go to your Engine install and then options, and then Engine source is the one you want. I also got the symbols though, so that'll help with debugging basically. But yeah, you can do that, install that, and then it should be good to go. Do bear in mind though that if you do the symbols, it's like 79 gigs. So yeah, the engine itself is like 40 gigs. So yeah, it's quite a lot, but it is worth it. All right, so let me quickly convert this over, this transfer screen over. So let's see, basically when we do this set amount widget, I believe we just add it to the screen. Yeah, we do right here. And I even link myself to do. So we just need to get the full screen widget manager and use that instead, which we can do. Do we have a player control? We do. Full screen widget manager dot open full screen widget over the top, and that will be the spawned widget, which I'll actually rename spawned select amount widget. There we go. A little bit clearer. And I believe, did I copy paste this code somewhere? Yeah. I didn't refactor this yet. So we just need to nick those two lines of code and replace this one. And that should work, hopefully. And that should also, I don't know if I've hooked it up yet, but it should support escape. So you can kind of like pop back down through the widget stack with escape, hopefully. All right, did I break everything? Let's see. So this, then this still pops up just fine. Escape was no good. So let's see, escape calls close full screen widget. So get the top widget, remove it from the parent, remove there, and if is not displaying a full screen widget. So if we're displaying is if the number is greater than 0, this is just the number. Then we set it to false. Okay, so that should have worked. Let me get rid of, I already did, okay. What was the problem then? Let me try that one more time. Oh, not Blender, god damn it. Escape closes everything and then leaves me in some sort of weird input mode. Is Blender opening? What's going on? Get out of it. Okay, open. Pretty sure we just call this the top level widget. Is the widget stack number, so it's the last one that got added. That's correct. We remove the top widget, then we remove at. Yeah, I mean this logic does kind of look fine to me. It might be that this function is actually getting called multiple times. Okay, so we get one. Oh no, we did just get one. Oh wait, it's working now? Maybe I didn't compile it. No, it's definitely not working. Escape, escape. How's it going, Shaik? Welcome in. Nice to see ya. So I'm not sure if we're hitting this. I guess we probably are. Yeah, we are. Why are we hitting that? I think we are running this function twice. Yeah, we are. Playing full screen widgets. Okay, so where does this get pulled from then? Play a character. Okay, close full screen widget. So input close. Where does that get bound? Triggered. Should be fine. Maybe I'll put started. That might help. Because I'm assuming this event is probably triggering multiple times. Yeah, that was it. So, but there is a problem where when I do finally hit this, it doesn't actually remove it properly. So this goes false. That does look fine to me as well. I lose look input basically. Okay, and now my breakpoints aren't hitting. Here, let me just stop this real quick because it might be. I might need to do not a live compile, a full rebuild. Go, we're good. Actually, the problem could be we never actually call this for false. That could be the problem too, actually. But it should get removed and it should go 0. As long as we're actually removing from that array, which it looks like we are. No. Why are my breakpoints not hitting this function at all? It does mean we're never actually hitting this then. That's weird. That breakpoint never fires either, maybe because it's const. Let me just do this one more time. Okay, so we've removed one, so there should be one thing in here, which there is, the transfer screen. That code does run twice, that could be the issue. Okay, remove another one, now it's empty, so this should return false, which means it should hit that. Oh, which it does, okay. Man, what's going on here then? Let me have a quick look at the input for escape. It could be an input problem. Okay, yeah, that's all good. And then in here, where is it? Escape. Yeah, these are all fine. Jump. Huh, okay. I mean, that also looks fine. So what's the deal then? I'm gonna actually just put some prints in here maybe. Let's just start with the prints here. Do it in red, and we'll say, close full screen widgets, and then we'll say down here, because I think, yeah, it looks like there's something going on with the breakpoints anyway. Enable UI mode. Could be that we're not actually focusing that widget, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, into UI mode, close full screen widget, disable UI mode. I think maybe what's happening then is when I remove this widget, it needs to focus the next one down below it. So it needs to go set UI mode to this. To not is displaying full screen widget. So if this is true, Wait, no, it'll just be this. Yeah, there we go. And then this will just grab the top level widget. So that should do it. If that was the problem. No, what the hell? Isn't this look input stuff? Something in here is screwing up the mouse input. Yeah, what was that? Oh, wait. Is this inverted to what I think it is? New look input, I remember this. So it's actually whether you want look input to be enabled or not, even though it's called set ignore. If true, look input is ignored. Oh wait, no. Okay, reset ignore look input. Let's just do that. That's probably fine. And actually, while we're here, set ignore move input to true as well, and reset ignore move input. Maybe it's because I wasn't using the setters. Yeah, that's it. Cool. All right, sorted, fixed, all good. It took a little longer than I expected. That's all right. Once again, get to show the debugging process. Still don't fully understand why some of my breakpoints weren't hitting though. But yeah. So that I'll leave that other thing on triggered. That's fine. Or on started, the close action. And now we can move on to the next thing, which I'm thinking I'll do the equipping maybe and using items. Right, next. What did I just say? Use items. Okay. So for that, basically, we have it. Actually, wait. One more bug real quick. The inventory category. Where do we load the widget? Oh, we don't load it. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why that was happening then. Never mind. All good. Okay, yeah. So for this, what we need to do is when we're in our own personal inventory. Whoa. Okay. So it's happening while I hold the key, which is not good. Don't know how I didn't notice that before. So this inventory action should be also on started. And those are on triggered, that's fine. Oh, I guess before it was just closing and reopening the UI over and over because there wasn't a stack. that should be fixed too now. There we go, I'm holding I. I can push it multiple times, I don't love that. So what I need to do for that then is, rather than just always opening it, I need to check whether it's already open. So we're going to have to add another function here. Is showing widget of class user widgets. Okay, and then for this now we just loop through here. So every widget in the stack, and then we can say if widget dot get class is equal to widget class and return true. Otherwise it was returned false. Okay. So now we should be able to say in here when we push the inventory key, we can just say like if full screen widget manager dots is displaying full screen widget, and that will be, where is it? This widget class. Wait, no, that's not the right function. Is showing widget of class. Then we can just return from this whole function. So that will prevent it from opening again if it's already open, the inventory. Well, it should, if this works. There we go, so I does nothing now, but I can still escape out of it. Very good. Cool, so now basically when I click on this stuff, I think I just said this before, I want to be able to use it or equip it or basically do whatever it's supposed to do. Let me also, actually let me commit that fix. I want to also set this, so where is it? Advanced. So we get the hand cursor for this. Super bugs me when this isn't a thing. Now what will happen is, yeah, you see it, my cursor turns into a finger over this stuff. I need to look for these buttons too, actually. Sebastian Alexander. Is it good to mix Blueprint and C++, or is it better to do everything on C++? I'm new in 3D, but don't know if I should get that deep into C++. It's entirely over to you with Unreal, basically. If you want my opinion on it, I think the best way to do it, in terms of efficiency, is, as you say, to mix both. So to have a systems layer in C++ and a gameplay logic layer in Blueprint. So you write your systems inventory, whatever systems your game needs, and then you just have functions called add item, remove item that you link up in Blueprint for gameplay. However, I've done projects that are all Blueprint basically, and it does work fine. It's just there's downsides to Blueprint too. This project, I am specifically challenging myself to basically use all C++, just because I've never done that for a project before. But some of it will come down to personal preference, and some of it will also come down to like how comfortable, I guess, you are with coding like this in text form. Usually artists and designers and stuff will tend towards blueprints because I guess it's the same thing, it's just more stomachable. If that's not a worry for you, then maybe C++. And then also the other consideration is if you're going to work on a project in a team, yeah, there needs to be some decision making around that too, like how you want it to work for the whole team. Yeah, but in a perfect world, I think, at least the way I've seen it work best is to do a mix. Content and gameplay and blueprint, systems and C++. But yeah, you can do anything you like. You can. The only thing that is a pain in the butt is if you do a project and mostly in blueprint, and then want to start sprinkling in some C++ here and there. It's, how do I put this? It's quite a pain in the ass if all of your types are set up in blueprint. So like all your actors and all your structs and enums and everything like that is in blueprint. It's kind of like a hierarchy. So you have C++ at the top and then blueprints below, and everything can sort of reference, wait, the other way around. Blueprint is high level, C++ low level. Blueprints can access everything from C++ pretty much, functions and everything easily, but it's a lot more difficult for C++ to access stuff that's only defined in Blueprint. So you'll need to kind of like rebase class everything, and it's doable, but it gets messy. So yeah, I'd say if you even think you might do some C++, I'd at the very least write your base classes in C++, and then just don't actually write any code in it. So just like make an actor component here and then just immediately derive from it in Blueprint. And that way, yeah, you'll kind of be set up for there. So yeah, anyway, that's my opinion. A lot of people do things differently though. Right, so yeah, we got that. Izumi CH. What I heard is Blueprint for prototyping, C++ for actual implementation, and then again in Blueprints to set values so you don't have to recompile every time. Yeah, I mean, that's another way to do it. Yeah, it depends, like, because there's quite a few different, like, types of code. There's, like, system code, gameplay code, content code, all kind of different. But yeah, I mean, that's a way you could do it too. The only thing that I would say about that method is you are rewriting everything twice, which maybe is good. Like if you're just more comfortable with blueprints, then it could be quicker to figure stuff out in blueprints and then just convert it to C++. I actually did that on this project for something. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, the downside to that is you write everything twice. So yeah. But I mean, that's the great thing about Unreal is you can kind of set that kind of threshold wherever you feel comfortable. So if it's like your first game, first sort of like programming thing, and it's not too serious, then you could just do everything in Blueprint. The only downside, I don't want to like elaborate on this too much, but another gotcha in Blueprint is, and I've learned this the hard way multiple times, is blueprints are assets. So like pretty much everything in the content browser, for example, is an asset. And so you can get into awkward situations with assets referencing other assets, which reference other assets, which basically goes around in a loop. It's called a circular dependency. And you end up in a situation where your entire game is basically loaded immediately. Because like say your player character references your inventory, and then your inventory references your NPCs, and the NPCs reference items and so on and so forth, and then you just basically, as soon as you load your player, you load everything. So you got to be careful of hard references in Blueprint. We, the team I work with, do simple stuff like abilities that can easily be done in Blueprints, and Blueprints more complicated stuff is always in C++, as it's often easier for me to do it that way. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah, so at my work we have, we do a lot in Blueprints, but this, like for example, the quest system is written in C++, more or less. Actually, that might be wrong. Ideally, the quest system's in C++, I can't remember off the top of my head. And then the actual quests themselves, which is the logic of like, hey, do this objective, then do this objective, that's all Blueprint. For the iteration speed. Because yeah, that is one of the big advantages Blueprint has, is the iteration speed. For 2 lines in C++, you could sometimes need 10 nodes in Blueprint. At least that's what I noticed. Yeah, I mean, honestly, to be fair though, it's sometimes the opposite in C++. Like, line trace, they compact it into one nice node for you in Blueprint, and in C++ it's a little more complicated than that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it doesn't always compare. Like, at least I find text-based code easier to manage. It's less spaghetti. But again, that's just, I don't know, everyone's different. Some people are really visual people and really like, you know, enjoy spending time organizing their blueprints, and yeah. I think it's really awesome that Unreal can support so many different styles of development. Okay, so for the next thing, we got the transfer stuff working. The next thing was going to be the equipping and everything, or using. Do you know a full Blueprint game would have too bad FPS optimization versus C++, or depends on the way building the nodes? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing that scares me the most about Blueprint, the optimization. Yeah, so from my experience, Blueprint is slower. Like, let's just say that right off the bat. Blueprint is always slower as like one-to-one, because what Blueprint does is it runs in a sandbox and basically calls into C++ and then back to Blueprint, and then C++, Blueprint for every node. So it is a little bit slower. But I wouldn't say just by itself it's necessarily so slow that it would count as unoptimized or anything. It's more kind of the way you design a system. Like in C++, I could write a system that runs like garbage, and I could write one that runs like garbage in Blueprint too. The only caveat to that is, like, I guess really intense algorithms are probably better in C++, just because you have control over memory in C++, whereas in Blueprint, a lot of the time you're not in control of what's going on with your memory. So sometimes it can, for really intense stuff, like say you want to write like an A-star pathfinding algorithm or something like that, that sort of stuff I'd probably say C++ would be better. Still possible in Blueprint, but yeah, let's see what Azumi reckons. Worst thing what you can do is probably what Kuro Game did for Wuthering Waves, and that is use the Purts plugin that allows to use TypeScript in UE. Yeah, I mean, I feel two ways about that. Yeah, TypeScript is like another step down because it's transpiled to JavaScript, which is already slow, although getting faster. UN Lua, a plugin, yeah, made by Tencent. Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, for scripting, my go-to is actually AngelScript by Hazelight, who made what's that game called? They made A Way Out and oh god, I can't remember that. Hang on, let me just show you, because I think this plugin's really cool for if you want scripting. It does run custom engine though, is the only downside, but it's basically like C++, and it's instant compile like Blueprints. So this is another option if you want to go that route. Yeah, it takes two is the game I was trying to think of. And Talos Principle, and I think the finals used it as well. But yeah, that's another thing you can do, I suppose, is yeah, do a scripting language type thing. Yeah. Lua and TypeScript, maybe I can understand. Lua is kind of insane to me though, because like from what I understand of Lua anyway, it's been a while, but that's not a strongly typed language, is it? Like I'm pretty sure everything's just arbitrarily typed to where things might get really confusing if you don't know what type of variable is. It could be a string, could be an int, could be reassigned, and now it's an object. Yeah, that kind of sounds a little problematic to me. But yeah. Okay, so let's just, basically the first thing I need to do is handle the click stuff. So let's have a look at, god damn it, I opened Obsidian again. Inventory, screen, widget. Okay. And let me just bring up beside this the transfer widget, because it's going to be similar. Is my control P bringing up files? It is. Right. Until 1.3 of Woo-Wah, you are able to use the transpiled TS to make cheats for the game, as it's not encrypted. Oh man. Yeah, that's tough. Protocol buffers for multiplayer. I don't know what a protocol buffer is. Interesting. Yeah, sounds like there's some interesting tech going on there that's sort of like off-label. So we pretty much just on initialize, do the selected stuff, and then have a callback pretty much. So we can just do that here too. Because remember our inventory rows are generic, so they're not programmed to do anything when they click. They just are there. They just have a callback. Player items selected. Oh gosh, this is really making a mess of this header file, but yeah, that'll work. And then we implement this. Okay, so now we have our callback for when you click on an item. It's a format by Google to write UDP protocols. Oh, right. So it's like just custom network protocol. Works basically single player game like Woo-Wah or Genshin Impact for anti-cheat and cloud save, but it wouldn't work for actual multiplayer. I see. Only used for the lobby and account stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. We did a little bit with GameSparks back in the day. It might be something similar to that potentially. Okay, so I just need to figure out exactly what I want to do when you click on something in your own inventory. So this is calling the callback now, but it doesn't do anything. So what happens is based on the class, I suppose. So if we look at the item class, what I could do is make a function in here. On use, or like use, just call it use. Yeah. So we now just need to basically call that function. So this is the widget, which has the stack, which has the item class, which has a default object, which has the use function. There is a reasonable chance I'll get a crash there if one of these things isn't set, and I don't believe you can do this, can you? Wait, can you? No. So I'll do like item class. Okay. Some other stuff here might also crash, but I think it needs to. If for some reason this item doesn't have a valid class. No, you know what? You shouldn't be able to click on a stack. Yeah, that should never happen. And if it does, I need to do something about it. So I will let that crash if that happens. And it should never not have a default object. So it's actually a one-liner, which is pretty cool. What sort of game do you work on, Izumi? Out of interest? Just like genre. And how big is your team? So what I'll do is just implement this with a message for now. I hope we have access to G-Engine. And what is this, an object? We might not. I hope so. Can be set to 0, so don't use without checking. Okay, well, let's see what happens if I use it without checking. We'll go, I don't know, blue, white, how about that? And I'll just say item used for now. And then obviously we need to create base classes of this for different things and implement it differently from there. And I think this is almost about to require us to divert to making a stat system and probably like a status effect system as well, because I'll need to, like, what happens when you eat an apple should probably give you, if I'm staying what's it called, faithful to the source material, it would give you some fatigue back, which is like stamina basically. But I could also make it give you a status effect potentially, but yeah, we'll see. So if I use an apple, yeah, we can see item used, so that is working. That's good. Let me refresh my chat. I don't know if I've been having weird shit happen with it lately. Keep switching to top chat, which just arbitrarily hides some messages for some reason. Okay, so we're still good. What do you think of the new lights, by the way, if anyone has been to the stream before? Pick those up today. Wait a second. I think one of them turned off. Let me check. There we go. I think it has low battery. I just bought them today and they're wireless, so I need to charge them. Anyway. Yeah, it's making a weird noise. Oh god. Thank you for answering my question before. You helped me a lot to understand the general view of coding in a game. I'm gonna leave because I don't understand anything of what you're doing. Okay, all good, Sebastian. Thanks for tuning in and good luck on your game dev journey. Subscribe to come back once you learn more, no problem. All good, you're always welcome. But yeah, good luck. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send me a message or yeah, I'll see if I can help you out. Pretty sure that light's about to die again. It's making like a humming noise. Okay, so item, we need now to create some base classes. So I guess I'll just do that here. New item. I'm pretty sure that's getting dimmer, isn't it? You guys have to keep an eye on that for me because I can't. Well, I guess I can look at my OBS. We're currently a team of about 10 people, but only 2 programmers, 2D artists, level designer, PM, project manager, writer, and 3 music sound people. Oh yeah, that's cool. Very cool. Working on a co-op FPS with what I assume are roguelike elements and Steam peer-to-peer level networking. Nice. Yeah, very cool. I have worked on a very similar project to that actually. Peer-to-peer 4-player co-op FPS. So yeah, good luck with that. That sounds pretty cool. If you're able to share anything or if you have anything, I'd love to see, but you might be all NDA'd up. Okay, so let's just do consumable. Hey, is this how I want to do this? Do I want to do this with a base class? Let me just have a think for a second. What I'm tempted to do is create a class for every item, which maybe is crazy. So there'd be like a C++ implementation of every item, like apple, sword, everything. Maybe not down to that level, but weapon at least. And that way I have the most control over this use function. I guess what I'll do for now is make some helpers. Consumable item. And that way I can choose to use one of these that is like generic, or I can like implement just straight from your item and do a completely custom function. But yeah, the whole point of this basically is just going to be to override the use function. Our free time besides school and everything else going on in life. Oh, sorry, we don't have anything that can be shown yet. Currently working on the alpha, which we're going to show off at uni event in Bavaria, and then decide if we continue working on it as we do it. Oh, I see, it's like a hobby project. Very cool. Sounds awesome though. Okay, so the use function for consume, and here's the problem. I don't actually, like what I'll just do, I should finish my thought. I don't have a stat system to actually affect. Yeah, like there's no system for this apple to do something with yet. So if I can get through some of these, I might quickly implement that too. .f, and let's not call super, and right here what I'll do is if string format, and go into bracket hell. You consumed a 0, and then I'll do get name. There we go. Right, so we will derive the potion and the apple from these classes for now. Exactly, in case you don't know, Bavaria is a state in Germany. That is the reason for the cliche of the German man with beer and lederhosen. Oh, okay. Interesting. Didn't know that was in Germany. I was actually in Germany this year. I live in New Zealand, but I was over in Cologne and Frankfurt for a work event. Actually at Gamescom. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's close to that or not, but okay, so now we just need to go to Apple and reparent this. Consumable item. Okay. And potion. Reparents to potion. No, consumable item. There we go. Okay, so now when I use the apple, should say, yeah, you consumed a, what did that say? Default item apple. Yeah, okay, cool. But you can see it is the right class. It's just formatted really weirdly. And then we want to actually use the thing because the whole point of a consumable is it gets consumed. So that's what we need to do right here. And it's on the other side of the country from me. Oh, okay. Bavaria. Not really. Cologne is center west of Germany, while Bavaria is in the southeast of Germany. Ah, okay, gotcha. So the next problem is that the item needs to talk to the inventory it lives in. Which is kind of tricky. Kind of tricky because if I have the inventory component which references items, then I don't really want to have items reference an inventory component because then there's like a circular kind of dependency going on. So I don't really want to tell the items what inventory they're in, which means the only way for them to communicate back to the inventory component is either with a dispatcher callback as one option, or to talk to some sort of middleman system basically. But because I want NPCs to be able to use items too, I'll make it a callback system, so the inventory can bind to these use. Is that good? I don't know if that's great actually. Wasn't at Gamescom this year. I was there I think every year since 2018, but not this year because it's simple to packed on the days I can easily go, and there just isn't really anything interesting. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was pretty cool, honestly, but I was pretty much working the whole thing, so I didn't get to walk around a whole lot. We had a booth, so pretty much manning that most of the time, and then we had like a business room that I was in a lot of the time as well. So yeah, I didn't get to see a whole lot, but there were a few cool booths. The farming simulator one was cool. Actually, you know what? The Kingdom Come Deliverance booth was awesome. They had like signposts from the game and like barrels and chests, and it was like this kind of medieval village, which was pretty cool. Hypergriff Griffleen being there with Arc Knights. I don't know what that is. Okay, so what I could do is pass down, maybe I'll try this and I'll refactor it if I don't like it, but what I'm thinking is when I use an item, it tells... this feels so gross. Okay, what I'll do then is go actor user. That will work. User. because now I don't have a circular reference, but in the CPP I can reference it, and that should be fine. So these are the kinds of things that you got to kind of think, like, there's often like a simple solution, but you kind of got to think a few steps ahead, because you can get into some serious spaghetti if you have every system depend on every other system. You know, you kind of want to, like, if at all possible, what's it called? Like, there's a word for this. Encapsulate as much as possible. At least I find that helps. Yeah, so you can see the dependencies basically here. And I only really care about the dependencies of the header file. All right, so in the consumable, now what I can do is to get the inventory component, user.get find component by class, and I'll just if that in case for somehow someone's using an item but they don't have an inventory, then I don't really know what to do with this, so I'll just do nothing. But what I can do is say dot remove item get class 1. So we remove one of whatever this is. Hopefully this makes sense. It's a little abstract, but so now when we use the items, where is it? Right here, it's going to ask for a user. The user is going to be, in this case, because we're in the screen of the inventory, we know the user is always going to be the player. So we can just use this. Let me just make this a little nicer. Or let me just grab this whole thing. But this sets us up nicely to be able to pass in other, like, AI characters, or even chests or things could use their own items. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but yeah. Arknight's Endfield is a gacha game. The original Arknight's game isn't for me because it's a tower defense, so I'm limited to the anime adaptation, but it's still probably the best story I experienced yet. I try to make everything as modular. Yeah, the two thoughts, yeah. Try to make everything as modular as possible, exactly, and that's the idea between having this be an actor instead, because it's not. If I pass an inventory here, then it's like, yeah, it's too specific. Yeah, Arknight Ensfield sounds cool. Let me quickly Google it. Not that I think I've ever played a gacha game. In fact, I don't really know what that is. Okay. It's like a kind of anime type deal. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so that use function should actually now work, potentially. We shall see. That's the other reason you kind of want to keep the references as minimal as possible, is because it affects compile time too. Yeah, so like if I had have done inventory component in the item, it would have had to then compile the inventory component as well, or at least check whether it needs compiled. A gacha game is basically a game with a virtual slot machine for characters and weapons that doesn't need real money. By that, using a legal loophole here in Germany. Yeah, so at Gamescom, oh god, this is so embarrassing. I didn't know about how they felt about like loot boxes and stuff in Germany, and I was in a business meeting at one point at Gamescom, and so the game I work on is like an open world crime game. It's like you just buy it on Steam, whatever it is, $30 or whatever, and you just own it. There's no microtransactions or anything, but it's kind of like a jokey game, and in that game we have loot boxes, but they're basically taking the piss out of real life loot boxes. And so in one of the business meetings, I was showing a guy our loot boxes in the game, not knowing how Germans were felt about that, and yeah, he wasn't happy, to say the least. So I had to take that out of my speech, but yeah, I learned that the hard way. You're on the playlist. Yep, playlist here. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Said it. Okay, so this should work now, I think. It does. Consumed. Actually, here's a quick side tangent I'm going to go on. If I double click those, they don't work. And I believe there's a way to fix that. I just can't remember what it is exactly. Let me commit this, by the way. Usable items, consumables. So I think the way you fix that, item row widget, there's a callback basically like native on preview mouse button down. I think this is the one we want. And we pretty much just use that instead, I think. Honestly, I don't really know why this works, and I don't actually remember if this is the fix or not, but I've had this problem before. Basically, like, Unreal steals the second click if you do it too fast, because it thinks it's not a mouse press, it's like a drag or a double click or something. Doesn't count as virtual gambling as long as it doesn't force you to put real money in to get them. But I'd say, like, probably everywhere they are hated by the players unless it's purely cosmetic stuff you can get out of them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the ones in our game, just to be clear, are not paid or anything. They're just yeah, they're just, it's basically like when you do a quest, you get a chest which has a random item. Okay, so did I compile that in? I keep forgetting if I did not, like I checked. Yeah, like, what's the tooltip on this preview thing? It's, yeah, can't be bothered looking for it. Okay, so I think now I should be able to spam use these. No, I can't. Okay, let me Google this real quick because I can't quite remember. I don't really know what to look for. No. I found the exact answer to this somewhere. No. Second click doesn't work. Preview, mouse button down. On preview, mouse button down in the widget. Mouse button down, preview mouse button down. And then maybe return handled in all cases. Or unhandled. Maybe unhandled. Yeah, I don't know if that's the exact one I read. I'm not sure why Unreal is like this either. Okay, I still can't do it on a double click. I bought UDS Ultra Dynamic Sky when it was on a 50% sale some time ago. Since then, try to get it look stylized. I think I found colors that would work with Cat Pukin. But for the volumetric clouds, that's a whole different challenge. Oh yeah. Yeah, volumetric sky is pretty good. I actually have that as well. We use that in our game as well. So why doesn't it work with... God damn it. Not the same thing. What is the answer here? Soothing pastel theme, okay. Handled. Whatever. If I can't fix this, I'll just leave it and come back to it. I would have thought this was fine, but maybe not. I'm pretty sure this is what I did to fix it last time, but no. Okay, whatever. That's fine. Let's just leave it for now. So the next thing is going to be to actually... Probably, let's see, what is it, 10 o'clock? Okay, let's do a stat system because that's going to be quicker than the actual equipping. So, if I look, we have the skill system. Okay. All right. Trying to decide how I want to do this. I guess for now I'll just put it in the player. I usually don't. No, you know what? Let's do it in a component. Why not? Character stats component. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, and this will be actually fine probably to leave like this. That light die again? Yep. That's not a charge properly. Okay, so essentially all I want, I guess, is health. Now I'm not sure if this is actually copyrighted. Let me check. Okay, I think it is actually trademarked. Because there's a game called it, but whatever, I'm just going to use it for now. And then fatigue. The mix-ins, yeah, they're pretty cool. It's like a way to expose extra code, essentially. Yeah. AngelScript is pretty badass. The only downside that I've found, there's two downsides. One is it's a custom engine modification, and the other is it doesn't have interfaces. Yeah. Script to declare method or type outside the class body. Yeah, so it's just accessible anywhere, I guess. Active reference. Oh, it's accessible on here, I see. Yeah, so the way I've seen it used is basically to like expose extra functions from the engine to the script. So you can see a couple examples here by the look of it, yeah. Pretty cool. It's like extension functions, I guess, in some other languages. Yeah, pretty decent. And it's nice that it's got the support of some pretty big studios behind it too. Like Hazelight and Crow Team, Talos Principle, and then also the Finals. Whoever, I can't remember who made that, but yeah, Embark also used it. Kind of what I think they are. I only know mixins from Minecraft modding, and they can be used to inject custom code in Minecraft classes. Yeah, exactly, basically. More like access wideners in Minecraft modding. Yeah, I'm not sure, I haven't done Minecraft modding, but yeah. Basically, like, you can just take a type and add more functions to it from a different file. Yeah, so it's helpful for like extending the scripting API. Okay. So yeah, let's just do this and protect them. Blueprints. Actually, let's just not blueprint these at all. And I'll do it through getters and setters. So access widenings are used to change the visibility of a class variable or function. Oh, right. So you can, if something's marked as private, you can just override it to be public. That's interesting. So let's do void take damage. This is going to be kind of a lot of spam for a second here, like a lot of function spam. Heal by okay, so that's the health ones. Then we go void drain Magica. Replenish Magica. And get Magica. And then basically the same thing as that, but for stamina. Drain, or fatigue, I guess I'm calling it. Alright. The custom engine's not really a problem for me. For the final goal I have is probably to use one for multiple reasons. Yeah, you usually end up with a custom engine anyway. It just means if you already have a custom engine, it can be a little iffy for some people to merge their stuff with changes from another company, if you know what I mean. Custom shading model. Changing the save file location for ship builds to documents. Oh, okay. Do you require a custom engine to do that? Didn't realize. Cool. Alright, so let's just add this to the dictionary for sure. And then implement all of these. And holy moly. Okay, Magica 0, health 0, and fatigue 0 by default. So take damage will go health minus health equals the max value between health minus amount and 0. Heal is health the max, no, the minimum between that and a maximum health value, which I guess I need also. I didn't think about that. Let's just hardcode 100 because I want an attribute system for this actually. So let's just hardcode 100. Health plus amounts and 100. If these are negative, we're going to have problems because you would have health minus amounts. You'd actually gain health by taking negative damage. You can set some start argument to set it, but I think you would need to modify the bootstrap exe for that or set some macro, which didn't work when I tried it. So why not do it directly in fpath? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, drain Magica. Okay, so it's going to be very similar for these. So drain is Magica. And then drain fatigue. Okay, and then the increase functions. There and there. And then we just return Magica here. And then return fatigue here. I also tried to add the distinguished publisher name from the project settings into the save path, but it always used the fallback I set. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really messed around with that stuff. We just use the local app data. But it is annoying because a dev build and a shipping build save to different paths, which is kind of annoying. Alright, it's getting late. I was trying not to do this, but I'm gonna wear my glasses. They look kind of reflecty in the thing, but my eyes are starting to go tonight. Okay, So we've got this component ready to go, more or less. It's not very advanced, but it's a good start. So the reason I did it as a component as well, I didn't really explain that, but so that I can easily just put this component on NPCs and they'll share the same stats as players. So I don't have to, like, if I put it in the player class directly, I'd also have to put it in the NPC class or have a class that they both inherit from. I prefer to not use inheritance if I can get away with it though. So we'll do it as a component. So now the player needs one of these. So player character stats components. Stats components. I'll just call it stats, that's fine. And we probably should initialize these actually to, I should probably let the initialization happen on the character itself. So if we have a function here called init values or init stats, and I'll just do here's a question for you, Izumi, if you don't mind. So, do you make things like these const, like int32s? Not const, reference, like a const reference? Because usually I just pass through a copy. I don't know whether to be like that careful with copying memory basically, or like if most people are or not. Like you can see it wants me at least to make these const. The constness I can kind of understand, but the reference, I don't know. I usually do it for structs and that's about it. So I'd be interested to know what you normally do for that. Oh god, hang on. I need to... They have this thing where you can't use the same name in an argument as a member variable, and it's super annoying. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do that. Magica and fatigue. So I guess I didn't explain these. It's probably obvious if you've ever played an Elder Scrolls game, which is loosely what I'm basing this whole project off, but health is obvious. Drops to 0, you're dead. Magicka is like spell points, so when you cast a spell it costs a certain amount of magicka. And fatigue is like your stamina basically, so how long you can sprint for, and it also affects your chance of hitting and stuff like that. Chance to perform actions. Not chance to perform actions, chance to succeed when you do perform an action. Yeah. Okay, so now we have an init function. After we create it, we can probably in a begin play, because I'll probably end up loading this. That's a whole nother system we need to write. But yeah, for now we'll just have it hard coded. I'm not sure if this is making good YouTube content or not, but this is like pretty much writing all of the core systems for an RPG from scratch live. And it's pretty dry, I guess, because it's like a lot of stuff has to be made, like inventory, stats, like UI management, whatever I just mentioned a second ago, attributes, yeah, AI, all that stuff. Serialization system. So I don't know, just I'm keen for feedback, so if you do have any, leave it as a comment under the video if you're watching this after the fact, whether this kind of content is something you're interested in or not. Yeah, so we initialize, we're good. Okay, so the next thing I'll quickly do is, well, make sure I didn't break anything anyway. and then I'll quickly make some UI elements to represent these. One of the goals I have is an MDK plugin which doesn't need the full game source but allows C++ mods. That would be amazing. I would love to see that or help with it or anything. That would be really cool. I have my own kind of modding ideas in mind, but it is going to be either AngelScript or Blueprint. I haven't figured out a way to handle C++, so, but if I could, that would be top tier. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Okay. In fact, yeah, if you do end up doing that and make a GitHub repo, definitely ping it to me. I'd love to check it out. Okay, so if I play, nothing should happen, but what I can do is in the... no, I can't do that quite yet. That's fine. What I'll do then is start making this UI. So let's make a widget, user widget, stat bar widget. Okay, abstract, blue principle. Another thing, by the way, and this goes for anyone, not just you and Zoomy, but depending how much you have this memorized or not, there's a really good site I sometimes use called Ben UI, and he has these things for specifiers, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, like you probably know a lot of the common ones, but there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I didn't actually know were specifiers for like U properties and U functions. So definitely recommend this guy's content. It's way better than the actual Unreal docs for stuff like this, especially for the UHT, the Unreal header tool. I will, but I have to learn a lot more before I can start with that. Yeah, fair enough. That does sound like quite an undertaking. Okay, so we have the base class. I don't really have a UI folder yet, but like HUD, I guess. I'll check it out. Do you know about the optional specifier on plugins in the U project file? No, I don't know about that. The optional tag. What do you say? Optional specifier. I don't get autocomplete. What's the TLDR on that? That sounds interesting. How would that work though? Because if you use stuff from the plugin, how would it... I guess it just compiles it out or something? Stat widgets. Alright, so we get one of these. And I found it because Ryder gave me the auto completion for it. Really? It's not giving me the autocomplete. What do you mean? Like, what's an example? What did you say again? Optional specifier on plugins. I guess it can be used on plugins like electronic nodes, flat nodes that change out. Oh, right. Like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like at work, we have a bunch, like the programmers have a bunch of plugins that don't get committed to the repo. So we just check out the U plugin, the U project. That makes sense. So it's optional, so it doesn't care if it's an editor thing. That's cool. That makes a ton of sense. Actually, let me write that down because that will be super helpful for work if that is how I think it works. Optional U plugin. Cheers for the heads up on that. Okay, so what we want here, I guess, I'm not going to bother drawing anything for this, but we'll have a progress bar and some text on top. And we will fill that and set this to the middle. This won't be bold. Well, maybe it could be bold. That's fine, I guess. Okay. And the fill color, I guess we'll set from the outside. It's not mentioned anywhere in documentation, surprisingly. Okay. That's a little iffy, but I guess that's fine. Alright, so we have this. What I want to do then is expose the color of the progress bar. So I'll just call this progress bar. And this can be just whatever, because I'll actually set that through code. Stats bar widget. Do you do UI in C++ or C or Blueprint also? Another question I always like to ask people. Public F string. I've pretty much always done mine in Blueprint, but this project I'm experimenting with how it feels to do it in C++. It's actually not too bad. It's a little slower. So this will be bar text, I guess. View property, read only, visible anywhere. It's fine. And then we need a progress bar. Progress bar, and we just need to give that meta bind widget. Haven't worked on UI yet, but other guy makes the classes with functions in C++ and then design in blueprints, I think. Yeah, okay, cool. It's the same as what I'm doing. Cool. Okay, so what I will do, and this kind of feels bad to do this on tick, but I need to rewrite or expand the stats component. No, you know what? Let's do this properly. Let's not fuck around with this stats manager. Stats, what did I call it? Character stats component. We'll have a dispatcher. On stats updated, and we'll have a callback. Blueprint assignable, and we'll just call this basically everywhere. Wait, what's the problem? Multicast delegate properties, yep. Declare dynamic multicast delegates. Yeah, so we need to just call this anywhere we change stuff. So like right here, potentially here, here. This feels bad. I think I need to change this at some point. I might end up making these stats objects rather than just ints. And that way I can like for loop over stuff and all that. Okay, so that should be good now. And then the stats bar widget will need a protected reference to the use character stats component. And make sure that doesn't get garbage collected. Interesting, I've tried the autocomplete in the U project just now and it doesn't give me the autocomplete for anything. Yeah, I don't get any autocomplete in my, it might be the latest version of Rider that is disabled it or something. Or actually no, what it could be, they added, if you're on the latest version, they added AI, like local, what's it called? large language model autocomplete. So it's like code completion, like, you know, Copilot or whatever, but local. Could be that triggering potentially. So maybe check your settings there. Okay, so the stat bar widget, you know what? Let's just not do that here. I've just had a thought. Let's have a manager, or not a manager, a wrapper. So we'll do boop, and then another widget, stats, stat bars, or character stats list widget or something. No, in the latest version, they it's available for C++ and C. I think just C, possibly something else. Yeah, where is it? Is it this? No. I don't know where to bring up the initial, like, hey, you just updated page. Oh, here. So full line, yeah, C++. Oh yeah, so you had all the other ones, just C++ is in there too. So I don't know, maybe it will trigger on an INI file as well because it's Unreal, maybe. I have no idea. Protected U character stats components. Make sure it doesn't get garbage collected, and then I guess we can just do native init. I don't know how early init runs, but hopefully that's when the game is actually running. Also, it does not appear to be giving me the implementation for that for some reason, so I guess I'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. U character stats. So hopefully what I can do here is a yeah, that get world check might fail there potentially. Yeah, it could be just the late, like you're behind a version or something. I'm not sure. I did just update like 2 days ago. 1.2.6. U characters. No, what is it? Character stats. Nope. Stats component. Player dot finds component by class. Character stats component, and we might get some crashiness in here, but again, I want to know about it if that is a problem. And now what we can have is, I guess we can make these public, but U stat bar widget health bar not category meta find widget, and this will be magic bar and fatigue bar. Okay. That is good, but the only other thing is on initialize, once we have the stats component, let's just chuck it in an if, I suppose. No, can't do that because I'm not defining the variable. Let's just do it and see what happens. On stats updated dot add dynamic will bind to stats updated. Why am I not getting... Oh god, did I break something when I... For some reason I'm not getting my autocomplete working anymore. Void stats updated. View character stats list widget stats updated. There we go. What do you mean? Oh, wrong type. There we go. Okay, and we will also just call this function right after as well to initialize it. So what we pretty much want to do is say health bar dot like set stat value, and we'll set that to stats component dot get health. We'll just do that 3 times. So magical bar okay, and we don't actually have these functions. Is it gonna create it for me? No. Very good. The stat value. There we go. Okay, so now what we can do is in this progress bar, when this stat initializes, we can go set percent to be new stat value out of 100f. I am hard coding the max value right now because I want to create an attribute system, which the TLDR is, think of like Diablo attributes where you have like fire, damage, resistance, movement speed, you know, like max health, all that kind of stuff. But I haven't written it yet, so I can't. I'll just hard code it for now. So we want to set the percent and then the bar text. I feel like I've done a whole ton of code without really being an editor, but this is just kind of how it is right now. So this is that current value out of the max, bracket hell, and new stat value 100. There we go. Now we just hope that I've set everything up correctly. Wait, there's one more thing I want to do in here actually, and that is to go native preconstruct, and I want to go and set the progress bar's fill color. And what is that? F linear color to a value. Blueprint read only, but this one will need to be edit anywhere, I suppose. Bar color. There we go. I should have probably initialized that to something, but I guess it'll just be black by default, pink, white. I don't know what the default is. I'm surprised we haven't managed to crash Unreal yet. By doing all this compiling, but we should now just be able to link this to that text and yeah, then create the other thing, the stats, character stats list widget. And this is just going to be a vertical box with stat bar widget, 3 of them. So we got health bar. Why can I not call it that? We have had a problem live coding. Okay. I will need to reboot real quick then. And I'm pretty sure I didn't unbind a dispatcher. Yep. Will it tell me what the dispatcher is? Don't know. Who cares? I'll sort that out later. Alright, we need to crank because I need to probably go to bed by 11. I've got a pretty insane day tomorrow. We're releasing our game at 3 o'clock in the morning my time tomorrow night into 1.0, so that's going to be a lot. Not this game, the game I'm working on at work. There's no way I'll have this done by 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Or, you know what I mean, the next day morning. How's the audio if anyone's chilling around, by the way? Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'm not using headphones today and I have speakers on my desk. Hopefully it's not like feeding back into itself too much. Okay. So, we got this set up. I'm pretty sure we already did that. This thing, we just need to rename these. Magic bar and fatigue bar, and we're good there. And let me just default this to be like half filled or something. Oh, this is going to keep on overriding it though, isn't it? To empty. Okay, well, at the very least, I'll set these to 100, I suppose. And in here, I should be able to set it. Yeah, bar text, bar color. So this is the health. That is a horrible red. Where's this Magica is going to be a nice, hopefully nice blue. And then green for stamina. There we go. And yeah, this can just be like custom, so it'll be like that. And then we don't have a HUD. Holy crap. Okay, we need to make a HUD. Player HUD widget already exists. It does indeed. Okay. Play a HUD widget, and we will just put a canvas for that, and stats list. Uh-oh. Please don't crash. Alright, we're good. Where's the... There we go. That, and probably not auto, let's just set it to be like that. And we probably want these to all be fill actually too. Go, and then we'll just pull this 50 in, 50 up, and let me quickly make a reticle. Where is there you go, UI. That's probably going to be way too small. Whatever, that'll do. And then where's sprites? Sprites, we will create a new one. And this one, we need to re-import this. I do apologize for all the UI-ness going on right now, but yeah, it's just kind of is what it is. What the heck is going on here? Why don't I see the crosshair in here? There it is. Okay. Let's pull this over. Whatever it is. 21. And it looks like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6. Nope. 8. Alright. Yeah. Very good. So now we can put an image in the center of the screen. And we'll just put our cursor crosshair thing in there. And yeah, I think that will be good. And I believe I already exposed this on player character as an option. HUD class, player HUD widget, and I think it'll just add it for me. Yeah, there we go. Very good. Yeah, I don't know about it blurring out the HUD like that though. But we have to worry about that another time. Okay, so this is good, this is good. The stats now, What I'll do is I'll default the stats to be slightly different. So character, player character, initialize it to 50 on all of them, because there's not really any way to lower stamina at the moment. That's something we'll work on. And then I'll make the apple give you stamina when you eat it, give you fatigue. And that will probably be the end of the stream. And next time we'll probably do, I would imagine, sprinting and whatnot. Okay, so we're 50 on all our bars. Let me make the background. Can I, let's see. Background image. Tint. And then the fill image, I kind of just want to be a white square. Let's see if I can make some sort of nice-ish bar here. Not sure if this is just going to work like this, but we'll find out. Okay, create, re-import this, create a new sprite. I really wish this was easier to work with, the sprite editor. Because I keep doing shit that I don't want to do like that. Yeah, this one. Oh my god. Just this, please. There we go. No, it still lets me select other stuff even if it's off. God damn, it's so annoying. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to actually work, but let's try style, fill image, this. It actually does. Okay. Margin. Not sure why it keeps oh, I see the problem. I'm supposed to be doing it in here. I just want the pixels to not be that. That like cramped, you know? Oh, whatever. I don't know. I'll figure that out another time. Anyway, we have the stats now. Looking ever so slightly better. And you can see, more importantly, which ones are empty. Or like how empty they are. Let me just put a little bit of padding on top. So you can see the difference between them. Okay, so now I just need to make it so that when you eat an apple, it increases your stamina. So let's have a look at the apple. Consumable. I'm going to do this in a really naive way first, and then we'll improve it later. But basically, consumables will have health amount, magicka, and stamina amount. I'll probably magicka amount and stamina amount. I'll probably convert this to a different system later where it's like an array of objects, essentially, like consume effects. But I, again, don't have that just yet, so read only, edit defaults only, and then category consumable. Okay. And now what we need to do in here is remove the item, but also if health amount is not 0, or if health amount is greater than 0, then we'll do, we need the stats component of the user. So again, we passed in the user, so that's helpful. So u character stats component. So if I had have passed in just the inventory component to this function, it would have been more annoying to get this data. So it's another reason to do it like this, I suppose. U character stats component. We'll get a crash if we don't have one, but that's fine. Dot heal by health amount. And we're pretty much just going to have a whole bunch of if checks. So health, and this is why I'll probably convert it to objects at some point. We actually don't need the brackets because these are all just going to be one line. Take damage. If magicka amount is greater than 0, then we do stats component dot replenish magicka by the magicka amount, and if it's less than 0, then we drain it by the amount. And then this is the same but for fatigue. Did I call it stamina? I did. I need to get into the habit of calling that fatigue. Replenish fatigue and drain fatigue. Right, so this is like a little ugly, well, very ugly, but it will work for now until I have the objects, the consume effects. So we'd have a consume effect for like alter, or like, you know, basically for each one of these, and then we could have consume effects like add potion effect or status effect, or I don't know, play sound, whatever we want basically. So on the apple now I can say, hey, it gives you 5 extra fatigue. And what should happen is you can see I have 50 fatigue, eat an apple, and now I have 55 fatigue. So yeah. And the thing is, if I make these objects too, I could do like over time effects, which would probably be nicer, like heals 20 fatigue, replenishes 20 fatigue over, you know, 5 seconds or something like that. Probably be nicer. But yeah, potion does nothing. But the apple gives you fatigue back. And this is why I don't like the blur here, because I can't actually see my bars properly. But that's fine. I just need to separate the blur into its own thing so it can sit behind the HUD potentially, or we put the stats on top as well. Cool. So that's that. Before I commit this, I just want to check I didn't break anything else. So we should be able to still talk to these guys. My name is who, or like, oh yeah, whatever, that's fine, works. I'll ask this guy, do you know Rari? And he's like, oh, interesting. Do you know? I thought he would know that. Do you know Rari Routian? No, he doesn't know. He does know his gender. Okay, so that seems okay. Chests obviously still work. That's good. Okay. This is all still fine. There was one slight bug I just noticed just then. So when I click confirm, I have to hit escape twice to get out of the UI, and that is probably because in the transfer screen, let's say what we do when we hit OK is we probably just remove from parent. It removes itself from parent, doesn't it? In which case, what we actually want is when cancel is clicked, instead of just remove from parent, we want to get the full screen widget manager and the player controller. Close full screen widget. We just want to do it like that instead, so it pulls it off the widget stack. And this is a little bit problematic because if something else happened to be on top of this and you are able to click confirm, you would actually remove the thing on top, not this. So I probably need a close function that actually takes in the widget and removes everything, like the top thing of that class or whatever. But this should work for now. 0 drop frames a stream, that's pretty good. Usually get at least a couple. So now if I go in here, transfer, now I can just hit escape once and it works just fine. Take all the apples, cancel, that's also fine. Escape, that's also fine, cool. And I can't eat from there, I have to eat from here. See my stamina going up. Okay, that's all good. And let me just check also the village stuff. I doubt that would have changed, but just to be sure. Everything looks fine. Volro's house, who also has some apples. I need to hook these NPCs up still. Yeah, very good. This is all still good. I actually did probably too much in that commit. We added a HUD, stat system, and stats bars. And fixed. That was probably way too much for one commit, but that's fine. Cool. All right, I'm going to leave the stream there. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I won't be doing a stream tomorrow night, that's for sure, because we're releasing. But hopefully pretty soon after, if everything goes well with the release, I will do another stream. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next one.